Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Angie B Crafts. Today I am going to be showing you some of the things that you can do. Well, I'm just going to be making one card on this video actually, with these lovely new stencils from JMC Designs. They're from a collection called Hattie's Clan and they're just brilliant. I first saw them, I was like, it's not my usual style, and then I got playing and I tell you, this is just, it's amazing. It just is phenomenal, and I'll be doing a couple of videos with this one because I absolutely love it. This one I really like as well. This one I haven't used as much, so I need to get to grips with it a bit more. I've only really used that on the gel plate. I've not used it just as a stencil. But these two I'm in love with, this one particularly. So today I'm not going to use this one because I've not used it as much. I am going to stick with the two that I know and love. And I'm going to make a card. So the card's going to use both these stencils. This one I'm going to be using with texture paste, also known as Polyfiller, and this one I'm just going to be using with inks. So we'll start with this one and we'll get going on the card. So I've just cut a piece of 6x6 white card, which obviously you can't see on a white piece of paper behind it, but that fits perfectly. If I was vaguely organised, I would have some tape and I would stick it down, but that is beyond me, as it requires planning and the likes. I have actually picked up my distress inks. Now I've decided, I got my Kitsch Flamingo distress ink a while back. I haven't used it yet. I've unwrapped it but I haven't used it. So I've got Picked Raspberry, Kitsch Flamingo and Mermaid Lagoon, and we'll see how we get on. I'm going to start with the Kitsch Flamingo. And I've also recently discovered these finger daubers. I've seen them floating around for a while but I've not used them, so I thought I'll give them a go. So they're just little white daubers and you stick them on your finger, and it's really, what I've found is that it's really good for doing smaller areas, more specific areas, rather than using a brush and praying, which, you know, using a brush or using a foam pad, a bigger one, can lead to not necessarily the look you want. So there's a little bit of the pale pink. They come in this really cool, come in a little holder, it's fab. I'm going to go, I've not got one for Mermaid Lagoon, so we'll start another new one. Pop a bit of this on. I love the colour of Mermaid Lagoon. I just think it's brilliant. I'm not overly worried that I've just done a boo-boo there. It doesn't matter. It's still going to give the same effect. And it gives us a bit of mixed colour as well. But you can definitely be more accurate with these. I'm just not a very accurate creator, really. I'm a suck it and see kind of girl. So these are just distress inks. I've not used Distress Oxide, but you could use any ink that you wanted to use. And then this one I'm going to use on the Picked Raspberry. Took me a long time to stop calling it pickled raspberry. I know a lot of people still do as well. I thought it was just me when I first got into this and first discovered it, and I'd had it a few months and then I heard someone say picked raspberry. I'm like, it's pickled raspberry. Oh no, it's picked raspberry. Wow. So these stencils, as I said, are part of Hattie's Clan. There's also several sets of stamps. If you want to know more about the stamps and stencils in the set, pop over to JMC Designs. Julia McNeill has got a YouTube channel, and she will, well, she's already got up a video that is showing you all the different parts of it, so that'll give you the full collection. But yeah, I am a bit smitten with these stencils. She actually sent me a message saying, I'm going to send you the stencils because you do really cool stuff with stencils. I got them, I was like, oh wow. As I say, I'm a little bit in love with the flower one. A little bit in love. So I'm going to go back and use the Mermaid Lagoon again on this one. Now, if you haven't used distress inks before, they're water reactive ink and they're just really easy to use. I stopped using them for a while. I got very much into my oxides and stopped using my distress inks, but I'm now getting back into my distress inks. Right, so the big reveal is I kind of like that. I can't pick it up. There we are. So that's kind of, it looks a little bit, this set is designed to complement the Curious Wonders set, which is based on Alice in Wonderland. So that's why it's kind of got a little bit of that feel about it. Right, next thing we're going to do, let me see if this piece is big enough. Yes, it is. So I'm going to move this to one side and I'm going to use this small piece. So this is just the bit that I cut off with the stencil underneath, and I'm going to get my Polyfiller. So I've decided I'm going to start using Polyfiller as a cheaper option, to be honest. It is cheaper than what you buy specifically for crafting. It's not going to be suitable for everything, but it's going to be suitable for some of the things that I want it for. Look what I have, Kitsch Flamingo Distress Spray Stain. We'll use the Seth Apter Blue Moon. So we're just going to make 3 little flowers. We'll make 2 of one colour and 1 of the other. So to start off with, this is my tub of Polyfiller. I've just gone for the multi-purpose Polyfiller from B&Q. I have used this in another video, so if you've seen my other videos, you'll have seen me using this previously. I'm not going to make up too much this time. Last time I used it, I made up way too much. So I'm going to be quite sensible this time. So there's my Polyfiller. So I'm literally just going to spray the colour on. So I've not used the Kitsch Flamingo spray at all. That's its first spray, so I don't know if this is going to work. I would guess it would, because the Polyfiller, when you use Polyfiller, you kind of make it stick by spraying water on the walls. So I'm guessing this will just make it sticky and a bit pink, which is what we're after. It's a lovely gentle pink. I do like it. I'm not really a pink girl, but there's something about this colour. So I'm giving that a good mix. I don't want, if I can avoid it, striations of deeper pink or of the white. So I'm actually taking my time with this one and just moving it about and making sure that it's all mixed in. So I think that's, oh, there's still some white there. Make sure you're getting it. So using the palette knife's the easiest way to do this, because you get, if you run along, you can see there I'm taking nearly the whole of it in one move. So it's quite a helpful way for mixing. I do love my palette knives, and you can get them so cheaply. I think this set I got from Amazon, but I've got a couple of plastic sets that I just got from the range, and they're like a couple of quid for a set of 6 or something. Again, I've put way too much out, so it looks like we may end up with all pink flowers, although I might do a second run and get some blue ones ready for another project. But I love how this comes out. So simple. Right, there's some pink ones. I'm going to lift this up. Look at them, aren't they brill? Right, so I'm going to put that to one side, then I'm going to heat set it in a minute, but look how good they come out. Oh, love it. Right, get rid of that off there, and then I'm going to get another piece of card and I'm going to do some more. I'm really rubbish at judging how much, as you will be able to see, but it doesn't matter because you just do extra. I've got a little box that's got all my die cut bits and my cut out pieces of paper off paper sheets and things, and I've got one specifically for JMC because I've got so much of this stuff. Now, I'll be honest, I am on the JMC design team, but we don't get everything. We get a selection of each set to work our magic with. And it's quite nice because you get to play with stuff as it comes out. But I love it. Look at this. There's another set. They're just so cool. Right, so that's the pink ones. I'm going to do exactly the same with some blue. Then I'm going to dry them off and cut them out, and then I'm going to come back to you once they're all dried off and cut out, because it's not going to be very exciting to watch me do that a few more times. So I will be back shortly. Right, so I have dried off and cut out each of these flowers. I've done a few extra because I thought we'd look at a couple of different ways that we can change them as well, because at the minute they're a bit flat, bit sort of, although they've got a 3D element to them because of the texture, they're a bit flat colour wise. There's not a lot of oomph about them. So first thing I'm going to do is move all but two out of the way. I'm going to put them on opposite ends of the paper. And I'm going to take the same inks that I used to colour up the Polyfiller, and I'm just going to do a spray of the inks. So this is just going to be giving extra colour, but it's also taking away, there's a starkness of the paper behind, but you can see there now. I'll move these out like this. Oops, we're getting a little bit of added colour on there. I'm not worried about things like that because you can hide it. Look, if I put that one on top of there, you don't even know it's there. So I'm not worried about the fact that was a bit of a boo-boo. I'm just going to soak up some of this because we don't need it just at the moment. There we go. And then give these a quick blast just to show you what they're like once they're dry. So I shall be back momentarily. So these have been dried off, and because we sprayed that last squirt onto two different mediums, onto the Polyfiller and onto the card, you're still getting a really strong colour change, but it's just making it pop a little bit more. It's not quite as obvious with the pink, but it's still got a little bit more about it now. So that's one thing we can do. Turns out that one's not quite dry and I'm now digging bits off it, but you get the idea with that one. Okay, so let's bring in another two. So another thing that you can do is, if we go back to our distress inks, that feels a bit firmer. So I'm just going to use the darker colour distress ink on here and just bringing it into the middle there. And something as simple as that just alters the look a little bit. So that's something else we can do. Let's get the Mermaid Lagoon and do exactly the same with the Mermaid Lagoon. Need a little bit more on. You can see it just adds a little bit more oomph. You can choose to do contrasting colours as well. Something else that you can choose to do is take something like a gilding wax and just pop it in the middle as well, but then bring it out. So this grunges it up for me, so this makes me happy. So you can see now we've got a little bit of a sheen there as well. Do the same on the blue. So we've still got that pop of colour in the middle, and then we're just adding a little bit of a sheen. And it's almost like, because with the gilding wax it hits the bits that stick up, it's almost like the light hitting it. So it's hitting the individual petal bits. See if I can get a good picture of that. Let me try. There you go, you can see it a little bit better there. So that's another option, and they're the two that I think I'm going to use. So I'm going to do one more like that actually. Should we go blue or should we go pink? Oh, you know what, I'm going to choose, I'm going to try one other option. I'm going to get my pink, I'm going to get my blue, and I'm going to get a different spray colour. This is the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for lavender. So we're going for something purpley. So if we look here, picked raspberry's got more of a purple. We've got some purple going on where I've gone over the lines a little bit. So let's just do just a single squirt and then a squirt of water. Oops, apologies, knocked everything. So that looks kind of cool. I'm going to absorb some of that off before it all soaks in. Oh wow, oh I like that. Yes, I like that a lot. So that's just a single squirt and then add the water, so it just makes it run with a contrasting colour. But I am going to stick to the other one that I said I was going to do because I think I do prefer it. So let's have another blue, and we need our Mermaid Lagoon in the centre. Make sure we've got enough of it. There we go. And then let's get our gilding wax again. So this is a really simple way of making a card, or a card topper, or a page in your book, whatever it is you want to do with it. Okay, pop these off to one side because they need to dry off, and I'm actually going to lift this off here. And actually I'll flip it over so you don't see that lamp. There we go. We'll do it with these. I'll bring this back in. I'm just going to give my hands a quick wipe, make sure that they're dry before I ruin everything, which I have a knack of doing. Right, so we can choose which way up this one goes, but the hearts I like to be pointing in the right direction, so this is the bottom, and then we need to think about placement of these. I'm actually wondering if I should do another pink. Let's see. Let us have a look. Oh, I quite like them down the side like that. What do you think of that? I quite like that. But I want to add in some of these. So this is my Brad collection. It's getting a bit low at the minute actually. Let's have a look if I've got any that are suitable. Oh, got, they're the same, yes they are too. Let's see if we've got another cross head. Yes. Right, I like these. Now I've got a really simple way of piercing brads, and I just have a rubber and a pokey tool, and high-tech methodology. We have a hole, we put the brad through it. If you're not from the UK, brads are also known as split pins. So yeah, that's what they are. So they just split on the back. You tend to find they have a shorter and a longer leg, which in theory makes it easier to split them. So we've still got the metallic going around the edges, we've still got the different darker tone in the middle, and then we've got a bit more interest with the brad or the split pin in it. Let's poke the other one. So far I haven't actually fully killed a rubber doing this, I've just ended up with very holy rubbers, which sounds wrong. And one for this one. Oop, come back. Right, so now we have our 3 pieces. You know what, I'm not liking the pale pink next to the pale pink. I want it further away, so maybe, oh yes, that's better, because then the pale pinks are further away from each other, because otherwise I think it looks a bit insipid. Right, I want to put some edging onto the edge of this card, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use the Mermaid Lagoon rather than using a black. Let's use a colour that we've already got in it. I'm purposely not bringing it onto the card. I want this to be quite a clean cut card. Spin it around. This is where I've put splodges on it and end up saying it's not a clean cut card after all. Right, so we need some glue. There it is. I hate it when things are right under your nose and you still can't find them. So I'm going to pop glue on the back. I'm just choosing Cosmic Shimmer because I'm sticking paper to paper. I'm going to try and hide that little bit there that's a bit broken. So I'm going to pop that one there, and we'll go pink. So going round like in a round robin. And then we'll pop this one on, and that will hide any bits that I don't want to be seen. Now what I tend to do when I've got something like this is once they've started to grab, I flip it. So let me pop my lid back on my glue, and then I'm going to flip this over and actually press it from behind. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit and then I will come back to you and show you what the finished one looks like. So here is the card with a backing just of black card behind it. The other thing that you get if you get the paper kit is a whole series of sentiments. Now I've used some of them, but these are some of the ones that I've got left. So I thought I would choose one for on here, and I think Shine Bright. That sounds good. So me and cutting a straight line don't get on, so I just try not to because I'm so bad at it. So I'm just going to back that onto a little bit of black card. Like I said earlier, if you want to see the whole set of what you get, then pop over to Julia McNeill's channel. I will put a link down below so that you can all go and have a look at the full set. She's the amazing designer behind all these. I don't know what goes on in her head, but she produces some absolutely brilliant things. Right, let's pop that onto there. Now I'm thinking I might actually want some little dots of colour. Possibly down one corner. Shine Bright. See, I feel an urge to put a frame as well. So I'm going to have to get a black pen and put a frame because otherwise it feels too perfect for me. So I'll just check my fine line is working. Yes, it is. So I'm just doing, I don't attempt straight lines either. It's just holding the pen very loosely and going around the edge. So I'm not actually trying to do a straight line or trying to do a wobbly line. I'm just doing a line. Oh, I prefer that now. Now it's got that on. See, I've got to do little squiggles on it now. I can't just leave it. Yeah, I'm going to do my usual squiggles. I struggle not to put these on. I don't ever feel the piece is finished unless I've done squiggly lines like this. There we go. Right, that's it finished. So I'm quite happy with that. As I say, I'll be doing another few videos using the stencils because I absolutely love them. But I hope you've enjoyed that. Why not give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and see what else you like on it. Thanks for your time and for watching me. Bye for now.